Hi guys, and welcome to my review of Arsenal's game against Newcastle on Saturday. It was the early kickoff. So yeah, another 3 points for Arsenal. 2 wins out of two now. And actually, it's only us and Liverpool have got 2 wins out of two this season. So um, uh, hey, let's finish the title there. Let's finish second. So. Yeah, obviously that's not going to be the same by next week, and one team's going to drop points. So yeah, just I'm going to go into some other news first, because I watched the game last night against Manchester United. Well, I say watch it, I was keeping an eye on it, and Man United started off well, took the lead. Then Wolves got their sort of just reserves. They came out and played and got their equaliser. Man United then got a penalty. Pogba, though Rashford took it last week, Pogba took it this week. And he missed, which I think is now his fifth penalty that he's missed. He missed the previous four. And it's what's happened after. It's not much what's happened in the game, it's what happened after the game. And we're going to have to talk about, again, another social media racist incident on Twitter mainly from a player's own fans. We're talking Pogba. His own Man United fans were racially abusing him. Well, I say his own Man United fans. I say Man United fans, but quote unquote, they were racially abusing him over Twitter. And again, it's like I said before. It's not just one club. It's not just Chelsea. It's not just Man United. It wasn't just Arsenal, because Arsenal were doing it to Iwobi before he left. It's every club in this blimmin' country. Sorry. That just think they can use social media. They've got individuals that think they can use social media to racially abuse players who are human beings. Now, you aren't, like, the reason you're in the stands and they're on the football pitch is because they're better than you. Simple as that, right? But they do not have the right. It does not mean you have the right. You have the right to criticise a player. I criticise players every time when they miss chances and God knows what. I was criticising Arsenal players a lot last season, even more the season before. But you don't have the right to call them out on their racial, on their ethnicity, the colour of their skin, their disabilities, anything personal. You have no right whatsoever. And if you call yourself a Man United fan and you're racially abusing one of your own players, same as Chelsea, you call yourself Chelsea fans and you're abusing Chelsea players, same as Arsenal fans if they're abusing Arsenal players, you call yourself those fans and belong to their club, you're done. End of story. You do that, you sort of surrender your right to being a fan of that club, right? Because the fan base don't want you. Football doesn't want you. Not football. Society doesn't want you. Right? Go live in the dark ages. Right? No one in modern society, in a civilized society such as the United Kingdom, which is a country that's renowned to have a very civilized society, has the right to racially abuse anyone. And we're not talking just football, we're talking about anyone. On social media, on the street, on Facebook, on Instagram, anywhere. End of story. And I hope there is some way of policing this tighter, because apps are not working, campaigns aren't working, nothing seems to be kicking it out. Nothing. So again, it is like Danny Rose said, that he doesn't see why he's looking forward to retiring because of the abuse. So yeah, I hope that the FA, right, not just campaign, like do something more practical, more policing of it, more stewarding of it, something, because it's not on. It's just not on. So yeah, but let's get back to the review. So obviously Arsenal got off to a positive start, immediately having a couple of chances and looked good from the start. And then corner, and then we got a goal from a corner from Dani Ceballos playing it into Lacazette. Lacazette, the strength and being able to turn and put the ball in the back of the net. He did that against Chelsea last season as well, and he's sort of, you mark that tightly against him, you're screwed. And he just shows his class. And we went 1-0 up from there, and then Burnley didn't really sort of fall back on that. They kept going. They kept trying to give us a game, and they were giving us a game in the midfield. And towards the end of the first half, I felt that they were the more likely ones to score, to be honest. Yes, we had chances, but obviously 2 banks of 4, like Burnley usually play, and then they counter. They were still very dangerous, and the defence in Arsenal were not dealing with the first ball. Time and time again, the balls were coming in over the top, like Burnley usually do. They throw the ball in. It's good old-fashioned British football, English football, or throw the ball in the box, and they will not, and because they know Arsenal won't deal with the first ball, and they will know they'll cause us problems. The only sort of defender I could say really had any effect in the first ball was David Luiz, but the rest of them, they were never trying to win that first ball convincingly, which wasn't just a shame. It was terrifying. And if we're going to go against Liverpool next week, that's a must. Otherwise, Liverpool will turn us inside out. Simple as that. So we can't not just leave the first ball and deal with it later. You've got to deal with what the first ball deal with. Every time they've dealt with the first ball in that game, Burnley didn't cause a problem. Every time they didn't, we were scrounging all over the box trying to get it out of the area before they get on hold of it and put it in the net. And then the defence, the equaliser, how I explain it was David Luiz was out of position. He should have been marking who Socrates was marking. Socrates should have been marking who Maitland-Niles was marking. And Maitland-Niles should have been marking who was coming in right round the back, who the ball ended up to, who then played it, I think, to another Burnley attacker, who then played it through to Barnes and then scored the equaliser. Obviously, VAR checking it as usual. Didn't need to check it. I mean, we had a goal disallowed via the leg being off marginally. I'm not going to get onto the Man City Tottenham situation because I'll be talking for half an hour. Because I stand by that. It's not a goal. That is a goal. Sorry. And I can get why a lot of Wolves fans last night were chanting "fuck VAR," and I think a lot of fans are going to start cheering that very soon if because I originally thought they were doing clear-cut decisions, not very, very small decisions like the Man City Tottenham one, which no one saw in God's earth. But anyway, I'm not getting into that. Half time, it was 1-1, and second half, we dominated, to be honest. We dominated pretty much all that half, and it just was about breaking Burnley down. 2 banks of 4 again, and they were so organised. It was going to take something individually special. I just didn't think Arsenal were quite ready yet to have the cutting edge and fluidity to be able to score. It's not the players. I just think with the new signings we've had, it's only been the first game. We've only played the first Premier League game. We weren't clicking straight away, and it was going to take something individually special. And we got that through determination, through man in the match, Dani Ceballos. I mean, Dani Ceballos for that game was the star of the show by a mile. And he wins that, gives it to Aubameyang, and Aubameyang does what he does best, says, I'll take that and I'll do what I'll do best and score. Which he did, making it 2-1, and then it was sort of game management from there. We had chances to make it 3-1, as Burnley pushed up even more, for obviously doing the through the key. They got their corners towards the end of the game, as they naturally do. But I think we managed to hold out and and make that 2 wins out of 2. And like I said, the defence needs to improve. But attacking wise, we are gradually progressing with the players we have. So I'm going to go into player ratings. Leno in goal, 7. I don't think he couldn't do anything about the equaliser. He made some good saves. There were a couple of mistakes in between. Miscommunication with defenders, going for balls. He was trying to go for every single ball when he didn't need to. So I'll give him a 7. Otherwise, it would have been about an 8. Maitland-Niles a 7. Struggled a bit at the start of the first half, but attacking wise, he was brilliant. He was really good. Defensive wise, he was struggling. So Socrates, I'll give a 7. Did well in defence alongside Luiz. Struggled with dealing the first ball, like I said, but defensively was quite solid with Luiz alongside him. Luiz, I'll give an 8. He was the standout in the defence, who sort of could be stand up and counted against a very physical Burnley side. Monreal, 6. He did well, but it was like Luiz sort of at times had to come and help him out. Guendouzi, I'll give a 6. He worked very hard. It's a very physical side. Took a lot of tackles. Same as Torreira did when he was substituted on for Guendouzi. And worked hard. Struggled at times and needed help from Ceballos and Willock. But worked hard still, and I'll give him a 6. Ceballos, who originally was supposed to be in the centre role, but was actually pushed further forward, and Willock came into the centre role. 10, man in the match. He stole the show. He looks as exciting as Pepe. If he's going to play like that all season, pay the money now, do the contract now, sort it out with Real Madrid now, right? They've got plenty of midfielders. They can spare Ceballos. So, 10, absolutely man in the match, and I hope he keeps that up for the rest of the season. Nelson struggled in this game. Not going to be too harsh on him because he is young. He's played very well before in pre-season and against Newcastle. Um, uh, I'll give him a 5 because a 5 because he also needed help with Maitland-Niles in the attack and struggled against a very physical side in Burnley. So Willock, he again played very well, interchanging with Lacazette, Aubameyang, and he looks very good. I thought he'd struggle against a very physical Burnley side, but he did very well, in my opinion. A 7 for me. Aubameyang, I give a 9. He missed a couple of sitters here and there, a couple of chances, but played extremely well. And it's the same with Lacazette, who gets a 9 as well. And the reason they don't get a 10 is because it was Ceballos' show against Burnley. So they get a 9, the pair of them. And yeah, those are my player ratings for Burnley's game. We move on to Liverpool. Going to be a tough game. I just don't want to see us trounce like we were last season. I really don't want to see us get trounced 5-1, especially since we've had such a good start to the season. The fact that we've won, it's the first time we've won 2 games, our first 2 games in 10 years, speaks a lot. So yeah, let me know what you think about the game. Did you leave your thoughts about what happened with Pogba? Leave your thoughts about the game itself. Let me know what your predictions are about the Liverpool game. I'll do a preview to the Liverpool game anyway, but let me know what your predictions are about that. Leave it all in the comments below, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.